Hi, wonderful students. Thanks so much for joining us for our flipped lesson in order to really start the essay portion of our Create project. For this lesson, you are going to need the example essay that you are given in class. You will also need some highlighters and a pencil. Now, let's go ahead and begin. During our lesson, you are going to periodically see this little guy telling you to stop. What you need to do when you see him is pause the recording, do the instruction that was just given to you, and then come back when you are finished. Right, so today we are starting our essay portion of the Create project. And to begin, we wanted to make sure that you were familiar with how an essay differs from the short story or the narrative that we wrote earlier in the year. So stories focus on elements of fiction. They're usually made up or they're telling the true story of something that happens, but they all include settings, they have characters, and they follow a plot. Now, because we have characters, short stories also have dialogue. So that's that conversation back and forth between characters that we distinguish with quotation marks. Short stories are also told through someone's point of view, either a first-person narrator or a third-person narrator. And short stories have a theme or a lesson that they're trying to get across to the reader about life. So now let's stop and think about an essay. The purpose of a short story was to entertain. The purpose of an essay is typically to inform or explain or persuade. Now, the structure of an essay is also going to be a little bit different too. First thing to keep in mind is that an essay is objective. That means that it's trying to be factual. It's typically not going to use the word I, or at least not use it very much. Additionally, an essay contains a thesis statement in the introduction paragraph. This is one controlling sentence that tells you exactly what the entire essay is going to be about. Your essay also will include CEC, or Claim Evidence Commentary, style paragraphs. There are going to be at least 3 of those in the body. This is quite different from the short story where you have several short paragraphs, especially with that dialogue. And additionally, your essay is going to focus on sharing specific details and examples that support your overall thesis statement. You're not really trying to teach a lesson about life as you are in a short story. Now, a short story and an essay do have some things in common. First thing to keep in mind is that they both have a beginning, a middle, and an end. You need to open both of them up. You need to make sure that you have a well-developed middle section where you have all of those great details, and then you need to bring both to a satisfying close. Both the short story and the essay follow the writing process. This goes all the way from brainstorming through pre-writing, drafting, revision, editing, and publication. And your short story and your essay both need to focus on one big main idea. So again, keeping in mind, as we are writing this piece of our Create project, we are focusing in on the essay. Right, so first let's go over some formatting tips for your essay. Remember, you want your essay to have a good title, something that's going to grab your reader's attention, and it's going to begin with the introduction. This is one paragraph at the very beginning of your essay. You first need to make sure that your intro hooks your reader in and gets your reader wanting to continue to read your essay. And the very last sentence of your introduction is going to be the thesis statement. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Your essay then needs to have a body. This is going to be at least 3 paragraphs, and each paragraph is going to focus in on one reason that supports the paper's main idea. It's the bulk of your paper. And what's really important to remember about each of your body paragraphs for this essay is that they are going to be written in claim, evidence, commentary style. So every body paragraph is going to begin with your claim, support your claim with evidence from the different texts that we have read, and then you're going to explain how your evidence connects to the claim with that great commentary. And all of these paragraphs are going to relate back to that thesis statement. Or you could even say your thesis statement is driven by the 3 body paragraphs. And then finally, we're going to have our conclusion. It is one paragraph at the very end of our reading. Whoops. It connects back to the introduction, and it brings our paper to a close, leaving the reader thinking about the topic. All right, so let's now look at that actual example essay that Harry Potter has written for us. Let's look at that first page. The first thing I'd like you to do is to label the introduction. And in case you need a little reminder, this is one paragraph. Its job is to hook the reader in and clearly state the thesis. So right now, go ahead and stop the recording and find and label that introduction. All right, there it is. Hopefully you found that first paragraph that begins with, "There is an old saying that actions speak louder than words." That's our intro. Now, part of our introduction is the thesis statement. You've heard us say this word a couple of times now, but you might be wondering exactly what it is. With the thesis statement, it is one sentence and one sentence only. And in that one sentence, it lists the main ideas for each of your body paragraphs in the order they appear in your writing. This is really an important part of organizing an essay. Your thesis statement needs to state what each body paragraph is going to be about in the order that it comes so that your reader knows what to expect. Think of it like your roadmap of your entire paper. And to find the thesis statement, look to the last sentence of your introduction. That's where it should be. So if we think about a thesis statement visually, you're going to first take the topic of your writing and add to it the main idea of body paragraph 1, the main idea of body paragraph 2, and the main idea of body paragraph 3. Now notice that we have some commas in our thesis statement. This is important because we are giving a list of those 3 main ideas. All right, so now we see our introduction paragraph from our example essay. Go ahead, read through that introduction, and then highlight the thesis statement. Go ahead and pause the video now. Come back once you've highlighted it. All right, let's see how you did. Hopefully you highlighted that last sentence. The decisions characters make can reflect their true beliefs, change their lives, and ultimately show who they are as people. This one sentence is going to tell us what the rest of our body is going to be about. Now, if we look here, I would go ahead and venture a guess that that first body paragraph is going to be about the character's true beliefs based on the decisions they've made. The second paragraph is going to be about how decisions can change lives. And the third body paragraph is going to be about how decisions characters make can ultimately show who they are as people. Be looking for that as we talk about the body. All right, so have a look at your essay. Right now it should be labeled with the introduction and have that thesis statement highlighted. Next, I would like for you to label the first body paragraph. Now this is a little tricky because it's pretty long and it might go on 2 pages, hint, hint. As a reminder, the body is 3 paragraphs at least. Each paragraph explains one reason that supports the paper's main idea, and it's the bulk of your paper. Again, label just the first body paragraph. Okay, let's see how you did. Hopefully you've identified this as the beginning of body paragraph number 1. And it ends here on page 2. All right, moving along. Let's now label the second body paragraph. Okay, let's see how you did. Right there, beginning with "in addition," is body paragraph number 2. And then let's make a prediction what comes next. You got it. Label body paragraph number 3. Let's see how you did. There it is. All right, so now we're going to move into looking at the topic sentence of each of these body paragraphs. The topic sentence is related to the thesis statement in the sense that it is a guide for what is coming next in the paper. The big difference, though, is that a topic sentence relates to a paragraph, whereas their thesis statement relates to the entire essay. However, we often use the information from the topic sentences in order to create that thesis. So your topic sentence is usually one sentence, but it can be made up of 2 related sentences that convey one main idea. Additionally, your topic sentence indicates what the paragraph will be about, comes at the beginning of the paragraph. So looking at that first sentence or 2 of your paragraph, and often it includes a transition word like additionally or another or also that shows that you're being given another piece of information that supports the main idea of your overall essay. So let's go ahead and look here at this very first body paragraph. Go ahead and highlight the topic sentence of body paragraph number 1. All right, let's see what you came up with. Decisions are something people make every day. Whether it's a decision about what to eat for lunch or what to be when you grow up, decisions can show the true personality of characters. So this is an example where we have those two beginning sentences that open up our body paragraph here. They're conveying the same idea, though, that decisions show a character's true personality. Let's now look at the second body paragraph. Go ahead and highlight the topic sentence of body paragraph number 2. All right, let's see how you did. Here we only have one sentence that's serving as our topic sentence. In addition to showing personality traits, the decisions characters make can change their lives. Now, that topic sentence in our case for our essay here is doing something very special. In addition to transitioning from one idea to the next, and in addition to telling you what that whole paragraph is going to be about, it's also acting as our claim. This is what we are going to continuously refer back to support with evidence. And then here is our body paragraph number 3. Let's go ahead and highlight the topic sentence here. All right. Often when decisions are made, they show what a character is thinking. Sometimes characters will do something heroic that not only changes their lives, but also shows their beliefs. So these two sentences are working together in order to tell us that what characters do are a reflection of their beliefs. So their decisions reveal their beliefs. Okay, so let's have a look now at just what your overall essay should look like. We have our introduction labeled, we have all of our body paragraphs labeled, and we also have our thesis statement highlighted and our topic sentences highlighted. So there's page number 1, page number 2, and page number 3. Now, last thing we need to do is label our conclusion. As a reminder, the conclusion is one paragraph. It connects to that lead or your introduction, and it brings the paper to a close, leaving the reader thinking a bit more deeply about the topic at hand. So go ahead and pause and label what you think is the conclusion. And there it is. So at this point, we have now gone through the different parts of the expository essay. This is what we are using to write our create essay. We need to make sure that we have an introduction, 3 body paragraphs written in claim evidence commentary form, and our conclusion. Please make sure that you bring your labeled notes, your example essay, with you to class next time. We will see you then. Thanks for joining us for our flipped lesson.